What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Monday, y'all. We made it. We made it through the weekend. It was a crazy weekend, wasn't it? The weather was doing all kinds of wild things out there. Had some interruptions to the festivities. What was y'all doing over the weekend? This is where I was at with it. One more time. We're going to go one more time. This is where I was at with it. I was giving out all my Juneteenth red, gold, black, and green vibes out there. I went to the grocery store in my, colors, the red, gold, and green. There was no red, white, and blue over here, and I participated on part two of Juneteenth. That's what I did this weekend. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to get into this Monday thing that we do over here on Coffee Talk. We talk about Black excellence, Black history, some current events, and a little bit of celebrity gossip. Not too much on the celebrity gossip, just a little bit. So, yeah. How did y'all celebrate the weekend? Were you on your red, white, and blue, or were you on your red, gold, and green? I saw this picture. I thought we might as well start here. So this happened to this young lady, and I feel like um, I've seen people say, and I agree. Good morning, El Cid. I agree that this picture right here will probably end up in history books or like on the cover of Time magazine, or there's so much emotion for me um coming from this photo. Can you imagine that you're just on your regular bus on your way home from wherever you're coming from? This girl looks to be under 18, 18 or under, it's a giving teenager. She's on her way home from wherever she's coming from, work, what have you, on her regular bus route. And the bus gets flooded with some mass crackers and ICE frozen water people uniforms, costumes. We're going to call them costumes. Uniforms, I think, are for people who are acting in a manner that deserve some type of respect. Um, so because the frozen water people don't deserve no type of respect, we gonna call them cowardly costumes. They got on the bus with their cowardly costumes. Thank you, Elsa. She says to like, share, and subscribe. Um, Imagine this little girl, like what she was feeling when she seen all these people. Me personally, I probably would have found my way the hell off that bus. I don't think there's any way I would have been able to sit there. Maybe she was just frozen and didn't know what to do next. But I want to think that Rhonda's ass would have got up off that bus and just wait on the next one. But you don't know. Like I feel like I would have got off. I would have had to call somebody to come get me or something, or start walking on down the street and relying on Pat and Charlie, um, Nikes and Air Forces and whatever else you got on your feet. Yeah, this is just one of those photos I feel like that says so much, that says so much. This is the country we live in. And I feel like as a young person growing up in school, we would see these types of pictures, but we were so removed from it. We did not know that would be living it. You know what I'm saying? As a mother, I have pain in my heart for this child. You know what I'm saying? Because I see my own daughter in that predicament, in that situation, and what would she do? One would probably sit there. I'm gonna say my youngest would probably sit there, just like this young lady, not really knowing what to do. My oldest, I don't know. She got a mouth on her. And I don't know, like I don't know. So you pray for your children to make the right decisions when they get out in the world. And I can't wait. Somebody will for sure reach out to this young lady and have a conversation with her, probably about what that was like, what that experience was like. She'll never be the same. This is one of those life-changing things that happens to you that you never ever will forget. She'll never be the same. El Cid, you said you was at your Jamaican neighbor's house eating good food on the 4th. No fireworks at their house. We don't fireworks either. It was in my neighborhood, but as I've mentioned before, I live on a Caribbean island in the middle of Florida. So, these people around here, the ones that, are Latina and Latino, they, favor 4th of July festivities. So it was definitely some fireworks going off around here, but I wasn't participating in that. I did grill some food. I did just simple chicken burgers, and hot dogs. I didn't want to, my family don't like to miss out on the food. My daughter posted something saying that her allegiance was to the hot dogs, not to the establishment. Oh, good morning, Motown investor. You said I'm glad she made it home safely. Me too. Have you seen any interviews or any? Maybe it's a little too soon. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I would love to hear. Somebody will reach out to her. I feel like we'll hear more from this little girl. But this right here is historic. This, it's like I've seen it put next to the Rosa Parks picture, but I was like, I don't know. Like Rosa Parks got on the bus, popping her shit. Um, this little girl was in the middle of something that wasn't the same. But I see where the visual, of the photo, like I said on the cover of Time magazine. But I'm looking forward to hearing like what her spirit was in that moment, because my spirit would have been right back on the block. I got it in me. I ain't gonna be able to sit here. This energy ain't right, and I got to get off the bus. Imagine what the bus driver was feeling. you know, we don't see that person. We don't know if it's a male or female bus driver. Um, yeah, they're moving on. Moving on. This is, like I said, the things that were going on over the holiday weekend. So let's get into the things though that we normally get into. Have a little conversation about some excellence over here. Um, Child, I'm putting pressure on myself to be able to say this man's name. I am sharing what is going on. Just when I thought I had everything all worked out. Here we go. Let's make sure we're on the same page. Okay, I'm gonna give it my best college try. But just know this man's name is an African name. Meet Dr. Oluyika Olutoya. That's the best I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I got through it. I don't know if I got that right, but this is the important part. He's a Nigerian doctor who removed a baby from the womb at 23 weeks, performed life-saving surgery to remove a tumor, then placed the baby back in the womb until a healthy delivery at 36 weeks. My goodness, that's like something you hear, see on like, one of those doctor shows. What's Dr. Murphy, The Good Doctor? That sounds like an episode of The Good Doctor. Um, it says he performed a life-saving surgery to remove a tumor and then replace the baby back within the womb until a healthy 36 weeks. So they didn't add any more to that story. This first comment, he's an exceptional physician whose brilliance in medicine is matched by his compassion and humility. Love that. Despite coming from a royal family, he treats everyone with kindness, generosity, and deep respect. I had the privilege of meeting him in person at a children's hospital in Columbus, Ohio, where his dedication to caring for children left lasting impressions on me. I also attended his father's funeral, honoring a man who served as the king on one of the Arayas and Ondo state, Nigeria. Um, I'm close to his family, very kind and loving people. His life reflects a rare combination of intellectual excellence, noble character, and commitment to serve others. Well, that's a wonderful thing to hear about, him from somebody who, he says he knows personally, he or she. Um, that's incredible. But that does say something about his compassion to be able to do that. And again, it just drills in for me that there are capable, doctors out there. We just gonna have to look for them. You just have to look for them. Like, you have to make the effort. If you have a situation, this baby had a tumor, um, prenatal. So, I mean, what do? You go to Ohio, wherever this doctor is, and you make it happen. I'm guessing he's here in the United States, um, performing medicine. It doesn't say what hospital. This person just said they met him in Ohio. But I think, people doing amazing things, in medicine. And, luckily for us, there's some out there. Um, yeah, it's so hard with the medical field and everything that we're dealing with, in terms of the way we're cared for. You got to get it where you can get it. What y'all gonna do, Georgia? This is let me stop sharing and do it again, because for some reason the the people, the technology is not talking to each other the way I needed to talk to each other. Oh, okay. There we go. I don't even know how it's doing that. Anyway, what y'all gonna do, Georgia? We got Keisha over here. She's creeping up on this billionaire. It says a new Fox News poll shows Democrat Keisha Lance Bottoms with a narrow lead over Republican Rick Jackson in Georgia's race for governor. According to Fox 5, Atlanta's report on the poll, Bottoms leads Jackson 52% to 47%, a 5 point advantage, not 7 points. What? Anyway, she's ahead. The poll was conducted June 23rd through the 27th among 1,002 registered Georgia voters, and as a margin of error of plus or minus 3 percentage points, meaning the governor's race is still statistically close. It's close, but it seems like, we can only keep our fingers crossed. The race for an open seat, it says the race is for an open seat because Republican Governor Brian Kemp is term limited. Bottoms, the former mayor of Atlanta and former Biden administration advisor, is running as the Democratic nominee, while Jackson, founder of and CEO of Jackson's Healthcare, is running as a Republican nominee. We talked about him the other day. So he wasn't Trump's boy, but he is definitely a billionaire over here in the medical field. The poll suggests Democrats are starting the general election with momentum in Georgia, but the race remains competitive. Fox's survey also showed some ticket splitting, with 11% of John Ossoff supporters saying they plan to vote for Jackson, while 5% of Mike Collins supporters say they plan to vote for Bottoms. So we'll see. We will see. Seems like these people are tired. Good morning, Pack. It seems like these people are tired. I don't know who. Hey, Shayna. I popped off and everybody's here. I don't live in Georgia, but as a whole, we need to see some things changing, and we can't change it by ourselves. So it looks like, and this is early, but it looks like the people are tired of billionaires. Let's hope. Um, well, you said they show Stacey Abrams with the same kind of lead. I don't know, like, that we're going to be excited until it's all over, because we have to expect a lot of foolery to happen, along the way. What that does do, I feel like, is give people incentive. The people who, would normally be discouraged may get up and be like, oh, she got a shot. You know what I'm saying? So, you were going to do the right thing regardless. So we can only hope. It's way too close to determine, what it's gonna be. But the fact that she's ahead, says to me like the people are tired. Her early ads and anti-Trump, she's going to need more than that. I hate those type of ads. I hate those type of ads. Let's don't do that. Like, this is the thing. Like, we already know what it is. We don't want to talk about, how he's trash. Got it. We want to know what your plan is. Let's talk about a plan. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of controversy with your boy over there in California. I'm leaning towards, if the people don't have nothing good to say about you, sir, then I'm concerned. But he do talk a lot of shit. Let's see you get things done. Because the only person I see really getting things done is Mom Donnie. So, hopefully Keisha, talk to Mom Donnie. See what he did. I mean, he's just the mayor, but he sure is getting a lot done. So, she's been the mayor before. Like I said, we got some options down here. Two black women to choose from. So we just need to decide who is gonna be who's the better candidate between the two. Um, I would be surprised if it's either one of them because it's Florida. But let's see what Florida gonna do. Because every time I see the villages, they be over there, and the villages was typically quite red. But I see them like they be having street parties every weekend. They running around there getting a lot of sex. I prefer, that the elders be having sex than the people over here having sex with the children. So I got very much off track. Get out there and vote. 52%. She's in the lead. We gonna hold on to that for right now. We got to take every good news we get and allow it to resonate. Um, Public service announcement. If y'all have any children, they out here doing stupid shit again. A Georgia police department is sounding the alarm and urging parents to have serious conversations with their children about a dangerous social media trend making the rounds online. According to WSB TV, the Greenville Police Department is calling out the viral Benadryl challenge, which encourages participants to take excessive amounts of over-the-counter allergy medicine in an attempt to experience hallucinations. Wow. Who told them that? Where did they get this shit from? Authorities say some videos circulating online have promoted taking up to 12 Benadryl tablets at once. You're going to take a night forever nap. Shoot. However, health officials warn that exceeding the recommended dosage can lead to severe and potential deadly consequences. Possible side effects of taking too much Benadryl, including nausea, seizures, heart complications, and in some cases, death. Hell, hallucinations should sounds like a terrible thing. Why do y'all be seeking hallucinations? I guess I'm just not, a thrill seeker. So I'm like, I would prefer not hallucinating. Don't be tricking me with what my mind, I need my mind to be on sharp. In a Facebook post, Greenville police urged parents to talk with their children about the risk associated with the challenge and the dangers of participating in viral trends that can harm their health and safety. See, these are kids that be at home by themselves. What's first comment? Two of them will put you out. Yeah, 12 plus to have you see Jesus. Yes. Have you ever taken Benadryl? You could take a Benadryl. You don't wake up until tomorrow. Ugh. I don't understand. I guess, just as a parent, we were talking about the kids can't read. And when you're not at home to see what they're doing, I don't believe in privacy for children. I think privacy is something that you earn. You know what I'm saying? Doors closed. You can have it closed, but I'm finna be able to walk in there if I feel like it. No locked doors. I go through things in the room. I don't care about, this is just me as a parent. I snoop around, I dig around. Not anymore because my kids are grown. So that's something that I don't do anymore. But I'm talking about when they're little or younger in high school and you're at school and I'm going through shit. Trust and believe. So, and how else are you going to know? And then they got these devices where, they're a part of, we're over here on Instagram and Facebook. They got so many other, social media places where they meet up at. This is very dangerous. Um, and we see how these kids do these challenges. So if you have young people in your life, please have a conversation with them about how dangerous this actually is. And if you're not on TikTok, see what they TikToking over there. Whew, it's a 24-hour job. And with everything going on, you got to worry about these ones over here want to take some damn Benadryl for a challenge. Who is you challenging? Who's on the other side of the challenge? Anyway, do y'all buy Nikes? I don't. These shoes are $200, so I don't see any reason why I would be doing that. I mean, to each his own. I got it. I'm like Tasha K. Good morning, T. But this I thought was funny. And then I was like, oh, they have a point here. So 7-Eleven sues Nike over its upcoming, shoe ain't even out yet, over its upcoming Air Max 95 colorways. Now, I'm going to be honest, because these shoes are, often very colorful. I don't know if I would associate 7-Eleven with that shoe until they put the 7-Eleven sign right next to it. Now I can't unsee 7-Eleven. Do I want a pair of $200 shoes that's going to mimic 7-Eleven? So did Nike do this on purpose? And I was like, why would Nike want their shoe to do this on purpose? But, the kids be walking around with a pizza on their shirt, a slice of pizza or a pickle or, avocados on their pants. So, why not 7-Eleven shoes? Anyway, 7-Eleven is taking Nike to court over a new Air Max 95 sneaker that appears to use the convenience store chain's signature colors. The lawsuit was filed in federal court in Northern District of Texas. 7-Eleven claims Nike's upcoming Air Max 95 uses a stripe pattern and color combination that closely resembles the 7-Eleven's well-known orange, green, and red branding. The company argues the sneaker could confuse customers into thinking the shoe is an official 7-Eleven collaboration. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that, because I don't walk around thinking about who the, sneaker people is collaborating with, and surely not 7-Eleven. Why would you do that? Well, that's what I thought. The shoe has been widely described by sneaker outlets as a 7-Eleven inspired Air Max 95. Sneaker News reports that the pair is expected to release on July 11th for $200, a date that also lines up with 7-Eleven's annual free Slurpee Day. And I was like, oh, wow, they did do it on purpose. They absolutely did it on purpose. These shoes is not accidentally coming out on Slurpee Day. So, 7-Eleven, maybe it can be a boost. I don't know. 7-Eleven is ghetto, first of all. Every time I go in there, I can't get the damn Slurpee that I want. So I went in at 7-Eleven probably 2 weeks ago, and I wanted specifically to get a Slurpee. And the Slurpee was fine, so, except for the tops. So they didn't have the dome lids, which I was like, that's like, a good portion of my Slurpee. Are you taking any discounts off for the extra Slurpee that I'm not getting? So, and it's hot. Things are melting. Everything outside melting. Nothing like good old Slurpee. So I go in there, I make my Slurpee after I fumble with the lids for about 5 minutes, and then realizing, oh, there is none. The cups don't match the lids over here. So I took a big slurp. I wish I would have took another big slurp. So I took a big slurp, and I get to the counter, and the girl goes, we're not taking any cards, just cash. And I'm like, I don't have any cash. And so she's like, I've been saying that for 2 minutes. Well, I have my earphones on, girl, and I'm not listening to what you're screaming because, it's 7-Eleven and, I'm just here for a Slurpee. So, yeah, I was like, all right then. And so I left it on the counter. Do you think she was like, here, take it? Because she should have. But no, I guess, threw it away, child. And that's why I wish I would have got another slurp out of it. But Nike over here playing games. Nike has also prepared a border convenience store inspired Air Max 95 pack, including another colorway believed to be inspired by Lawson, a Japanese convenience store chain. Well, I'm not familiar with Lawson, but I guess that depends on what part of the country you're in. Complex reports that the sneaker were not official or collaboration with either store, but instead used the colorways associated with the brands. 7-Eleven is accusing Nike of trademark infringement and is seeking to stop the release. Nike has not publicly resolved the issue, the loss, resolved the lawsuit yet. The case could come down to whether the court believes the sneaker design is likely to confuse consumers, simply function as a color inspired tribute. Um 7-Eleven doesn't own colors. I agree. Um I would never think of 7-Eleven if I was buying these sneakers, and if I heard they were inspired by 7-Eleven, I wouldn't buy them. That's how I was feeling. I'm like, I mean, you said you go to the Nike outlet, you're not paying them extreme prices. Well, these 7-Eleven sneakers might be going straight to the outlet if they don't get this shit figured out. I personally, like I said, I'm with that other person. I wouldn't have thought of 7-Eleven until y'all put the 7-Eleven there, because the sneakers be make colors. And then, now if they're associated with 7-Eleven, I don't want them, and they're $200. I think Nike gonna sell them shoes, and I think 7-Eleven just gonna have to relax. I don't know what Lawson's is, but Nike, stop that. You're making the convenience store people mad. They don't like it. So, switch your colors around or something. I'm not mad at the shoe though. I don't hate it. I'm not gonna lie. For $200 though, no thank you. It's Mamdani Monday, because that's what we do. It seems like every Monday we got a Mamdani story. Mamdani bars ICE from entering New York City-owned properties, including public schools, public hospitals, homeless shelters, and other city facilities without a judicial warrant. Good for him. Good for him. That's all he did. It's just a short announcement. First comment: he's doing everything he said he would. We need more of these. Can we get some more Mamdanis to spread around, please? It says this is what it looks like when you're not bought by corporations. Ciao. I mean, all I can say is I feel like we should have more of this. You got the kids afraid to go to school. You got the Gestapo running around with no rules at all. That's not what life should look like for anyone. They taking down people just based on what they feel like. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we see it every day, and I feel like it's going to be an upcharge of that. We're going to see another surge of the frozen water people in their costumes running around trying to intimidate people. We saw them the other day down to the polling station harassing some lady about a social media post. So, be careful out there, child. But shout out to Mamdani. He said, y'all not coming through here unless, you got to judge, and nobody trying to go through all that paperwork and stuff. So every time you want to run through, we need to know exactly why that is. What is the reason? Hopefully he can follow through with it, because these people don't follow rules. It seems like they do whatever the hell they want to do. So for the folks that was over here celebrating this weekend, thousands came out to celebrate 250 years of America. Then the weather sent them running for cover in the African American Museum. I think that's hilarious. It's just so ironic that you went over here, to celebrate the whites, and you had to post up in the African American Museum. They probably didn't even read anything. Ooh, I wonder the presence of the ancestors was probably thick up in that building. Ooh, that energy. And wasn't none of us over there. Severe weather forces thousands to take shelter during America's 250th celebration. Thousands of people gathered in the National Mall in Washington, D.C. for America's 250th anniversary celebration were forced to take cover after severe thunderstorms moved through the area. I saw them out there fussing and complaining because they wanted them to evacuate. Like, or do what? Stand out there and anyway, child. The July 4th event, billed as part of the nation's semi quintessential celebration, included fireworks, patriotic programming, and a large crowd near the National Mall. But the celebration was temporarily disrupted, with officials ordering an evacuation because of dangerous weather, including lightning and strong winds. Attendees were told to seek shelter in vehicles or nearby buildings as the storm approached. Photos and videos shared from the inside of the National Museum of African American History and Culture showed large crowds sitting on the floor and waiting out the weather. Security and military personnel could also be seen inside as people packed into the museum lobby for safety. The weather delay reportedly lasted about 2 hours before events resumed later in the night. Some planned activities, including flyovers and other outdoor attractions, were canceled because of the storm. But the main celebration continued with President, I don't want to say it, addresses a large fireworks display. The moment quickly went viral online because the symbolism thousands came to celebrate 250 years of America only to seek shelter inside a museum dedicated to African American history. While the ancestors gave history lessons, lined in social media commentary, the evacuation and sheltering inside a nearby museum were real. I think that's hilarious. I believe, like I said, the energy must have been real strong up in there. Good morning, High Vibe. The ancestors gonna clean to them when they go home. Well, especially the little kids, especially the little kids. If they were given the opportunity to even interact. 2 hours sitting up in there, and they got statues and photos and I would have loved to be a fly on the wall watching them uncomfortable energy while they were surrounded by the history of the ancestors. The irony of it all, like I said, too funny. Other folks were standing outside. I don't know why anybody would want to do any outside activities, honestly. And it's July and it's gonna thunderstorm and it's been thundering and Detroit was flooded and weather been overly extreme. Here we go at Essence Festival, so organized at the convention center. So day 3 at Essence Fest. The energy is incredible, but the experience at the convention center continues to be disappointing. The level of disorganization is unacceptable for an event of this size and stature. As consumers, we have become more intentional about where we invest our time and money. In 2026, attendees should not still be shuffled through overcrowded spaces, endless lines, and poorly managed logistics. Essence has built a world class brand and generates a significant revenue. It's time for the success to be reflected in the attendees' experience. Hire more staff, improve operations, respect the people who make this festival possible. I couldn't do it. Um, and hopefully everything wasn't like that. I've seen people like down at Essence Fest, enjoying, but not on this level. Like it was like club events and things that you probably had to get tickets for before you get there. Good morning, Ja Tony. Um, Essence has lost its place at this point. And High Vibe, we don't want it to go away. But we would definitely like to see, um, we need a new regime. We need other folks in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've gone to beauty conventions, hair conventions where, there's thousands of people around for days. Like when they come here for the premiere hair show, there's thousands of people. They have buses and shuttles, and you know what I'm saying? Nobody has to be standing outside in the heat like that. I don't understand. It's a convention, it's space where people should be able to walk around. I just don't understand it. And I saw somebody say it's time to take it out of New Orleans, but I feel like New Orleans is part of the culture to me of the Essence Festival, and you don't want to take the revenue away from New Orleans. I just don't, I don't think that's the solution. Um, that's this comment here. Essence has been in New Orleans too long to be this unorganized. But I still think it should be in New Orleans. But it's because they are changing things up so much that there's no real think tank behind the changes. It's too hot for all that. It is. And I mean, you could go to football games. They have people out there with water. You know what I'm saying? I just see a bunch of people standing around in the heat. It is ridiculous. And they're right. That person in the comments, they've been doing this far too long for this to be a thing. So they just need to pause and, hire some different people to be in charge of different things. They don't have the money. They didn't have this problem before. Well, now they like $500,000 or $1 million in debt. You know what I'm saying? And this person is like, hire more people. I want to know how you have the Essence Fest when you owe people $500,000. Or yeah, I know it was the number was up there. It was $500,000, 1,000, and they gave them $100. They gave them a very small amount of money, in comparison to what they owe. So I don't know. Like we just need a whole new. I actually I wouldn't say whole new. I would say keep the best of what they got, because these people at least know, you know what I'm saying, how things work, and how to organize in terms of, what the expectations are. You don't want to clear everybody out the situation that has been there to see how it works. But get rid of the stupidity. Get rid of, and it's probably the people that's holding the money. The people in charge, the people with the money, they all need to go, because it's off. It's all the way off. and Essence should, it should be a good thing. Whose cruise I've been listening to? I think it's Ricky Smiley got a good cruise coming up. Oh, Serena. It didn't go like, how the people thought it was going to go. I wish I could say I feel bad for the lady, but I ain't feeling the lady altogether. Anyway, over there sitting with Bezos and them down to the celebration on the White House lawn. My allegiance to the Williams sisters, doesn't exist. Serena Williams' highly anticipated Wimbledon doubles reunion with Venus Williams is officially off after Serena withdrew because of a right knee injury. The 44-year-old tennis legend has been expected to team up with Venus in women's doubles, which would have marked their first Grand Slam match together since 2022 US Open. But Serena injured her knee during her first round singles loss to Maya Joint, and later said her knee was not ready for the competition. So she already lost. And you know how Serena get when she lose. Did she slam her tennis racket into her knee? According to reports, Serena tried to recover in time and even had fluid drain from her knee, but ultimately decided she could not safely compete. The sisters were scheduled to face Camila Osorio and Solana Syria before replaced in the draw. The withdrawal ends one of the most anticipated storylines at Wimbledon. Serena and Venus have won 14 Grand Slams doubles titles together, including 6 at Wimbledon, and their return would have been a major moment for tennis fans. I don't think so. I mean, Serena called the decision heartbroken on social media while thanking Wimbledon and fans for their support. The injury now raises question about whether fans will get another chance to see the Williams sisters compete together. No, not on this level. This doesn't make sense. And I thought this with them going to this in the first place. If she wouldn't have gone, she would have retired on a whole different level. Dang, Serena should sit down. We told her ass to stay retired. Y'all are going in. Her participation boosted TV ratings a great deal. These great athletes missed the competition and the adulation. Well, and that's unfortunate. I feel like all athletes do that. You go to an old football player's house, they're gonna make you sit down and watch, games from when they were at their greatest. I've experienced that. So that's why I said that. But football players, basketball players, athletes in general, they're all like that. The thing is, Serena has pushed out not one but 2 children. I feel like when you push a life force through your body, it changes you altogether. You're never going to be the same. Not in a way to compete. I don't think Venus don't have no children. So, and Venus is not hurt. Now also she over here on her Ozempic, so she ain't even coming with the same strength that she used to have. When you have babies like that, your body is never gonna be the same. And she's 44, and you're competing against 20-year-olds. Like, it was a recipe for disaster in the first place. She's not fit like when she was younger. No. And not only that, Jatoni, like I said, she's had 2 children. Like, she's different. Her body is different altogether. You don't want to watch her lose. No, that's not what were there for. But we all knew it was gonna happen. We all had a feeling it was gonna happen. It sounds great, you know what I'm saying, in your head, but the reality is she hasn't been playing. She has, yes, the Ozempic. She don't have that strong Serena body that she used to have. She's got 2 children and a bottle of Ozempic of somewhere around at her house. And she has terrible eyebrows, and I don't understand it. I, for the life of me, will not understand why Serena can't find somebody to do her brows and make them look normal. It just doesn't make sense. She has a lot of issues, as it relates to her style and all of that. But for goodness sake, Serena, what is going on with those eyebrows? It just, whew. Let me stop. She's going through enough. She don't need me over here ragging on her because she has, unattractive eyebrows. She got Richard eyebrows. Who's Richard? Who's Richard? Richard Pryor? Ooh, King Richard? She should enjoy her billions with her children. I'm sure she will. Oh, her daddy. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. I forgot his name was Richard. I think it's hard for athletes to do. High vibe. I think it's hard for athletes to do. Good morning, Lotus, the Egyptian flower. Um, yeah, and this is the lesson she'll learn. Now she over here getting fluid and stuff drained from her knees. Put your kids in tennis and things and see, what kind of genetics they got. The next generation of. Or maybe they don't want to. I don't know. But I feel like, I'm so glad we had this time together. Now y'all take your ass home, like High Vibe said, enjoy your billions because, Don't come over here and let these children beat you up on the tennis court. None of us want to witness that. That's not what we want. What else is going on? Oh, congratulations. The people did it. Travis secured that retirement fund for, the billions that Taylor got. I'm not saying that he don't like that lady because he married her. They matrimonied each other. All I'm saying is if it don't work out, Travis done tied himself to one hell of a check. Tom Brady in the final comeback. It's hard for some of them to transition, especially the championship level athletes. Well, Tom Brady did finally do it, and he looks amazing. Now that other one from Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers to the left with Tom Brady. Maybe they can do doubles. If we talking about the athletes, maybe they can do doubles with Ray J and I don't know, Adrian Bronner. That's terrible. We talking about Taylor. Taylor and them was over here getting married down to was it Madison Square Garden? Ooh, anyway, congratulations are in order for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. After nearly 3 years together, the superstar couple officially tied the knot on Friday during a lavish wedding celebration at New York City's Madison Square Garden. While reports say the pair privately exchanged vows before the public celebration, giant jumbotrons and digital displays across the city flashed "Just and T married." Message confirms they jumped the broom. They did not jump the broom. If them people jumped the broom, stop it. The ceremony reportedly brought out that better had come from the neighborhood talk. I know Travis and Taylor was not over here jumping the broom. Whew, my blood pressure just rised up a little bit. The ceremony reported brought out more than 1,000 guests, including celebrities such as Ed Sheeran, Gigi Hadid, Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lopez, Ethan Hawke, Jimmy Fallon, Lena Dunham, and numbers. Oh, Lena was over there too. I would have went if I had an invitation. I don't care what y'all say. And members of both their families, Stevie Nicks and Tim McGraw, were also reportedly tapped to perform during the celebration. What an interesting choice. Stevie Nicks and Tim McGraw. They are old. Who was that for? His mama? Did she do that for their mamas? Because why? Anyway, Travis and Taylor first sparked dating rumors in 2023 after the NFL star famously tried to give the singer a friendship bracelet with his phone number. Aw, that's cute. I never heard that story. Aw, we need more of that. And her fans, and her, what? Oh, at her Eras tour stop in Kansas City. They later got engaged in 2025. Oh, yeah, congratulations. It said, reminder, a man will be with you for years and then find love with the final love of his life. Who was he with for years? He wasn't with nobody for years. He was out here in these streets, doing what niggas do until, it's giving vanilla. It's giving vanilla. How vibe would you have went if you got an invitation? I would have went now, child. How will Swift's music suffer? Because she like Mary J. Blige. She must she got some other ditties out there. I guess we'll have to find out, we'll find out all their business like Beyonce did with the Lemonade album. That's what's gonna happen. She'll come out and we'll find out all their business. It won't be the breakup. It'll be, Travis was down to the strip club in ATL with Diamond in them. Booty, 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 booty rocking everywhere. He likes chocolate. I think he likes all of it. I think, we have to get out of that mindset. Yeah, he likes all of it. He like chocolate. He like vanilla. He might like a little, I don't know, caramel frappuccino. I don't know what he liked. But he liked, Taylor Swift right now. And they matrimonied themselves to each other. Taylor had him pissed one day. He threw the game. I ain't gonna put that on her. They always do that. Every time an athlete starts dating someone, then it always be her fault when he don't play. His own damn fault. He need to focus on the game. Stevie probably one of her idols. Yeah, yeah, I guess. Travis McGraw though, I don't know. I'm just saying. I just think that just I'm gonna give Stevie Nicks props because Stevie Nicks is Stevie Nicks, and I guess Travis McGraw it is what it is. I wasn't there. I didn't get no invitation, and then based on the music selection, like High Vibe said, is giving kind of it's giving vanilla for sure. But I would be there like for the opulence of it all. I wanted to like see what those hors d'oeuvres and things was given. What was the full dinner plates like? What was they serving down to that winter a wedding? And what did the place settings look like? And the floral of it all. You know what I'm saying? I know it was like $1 billion wedding for sure. Yeah, I know he was with a black girl. He was with several black girls. He been around. That part I know is true. But not anymore. I think, like I said, he like all of he like it all. They like it all. You know. If that other girl had $1 billion, maybe she would have went down the aisle. I don't know. But he was over here giving Taylor friendship bracelets. A friendship bracelet in her 30s, that's weird. I don't think it's weird. I see. I guess I'm just weird. I think that's cute. A friendship bracelet. Here's my number from Travis Kelsey. Child, and she caught him when he was fine. Now, I don't know what he looking like now. Taylor's a man eater. She's got quite the roster. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it, and I'm not a Swiftie. I'm just, I'm not on the Taylor hate train either. You wouldn't have gone? Girl, I would have gone. Taylor's annoying. I don't know her music. I know some of her music just from pop. When you work in a public place and they be playing, she's on the rotation sometimes at work. Um, you like Travis? Travis used to be doing this damn thing, but Travis is, when Jason retired, Travis can't be too far behind. Like they have played football their whole life. He cannot keep up. That whole Kansas City team, like they was like on fire. They had a good run, but their core team is, spread apart a little bit. They're getting a little older. So yeah, I would have definitely gone. I'm sorry. I would have been like, Taylor Swift, what the hell am I going to wear? He could go from pumpkin pie to sweet potato pie and does. He can go from collard greens and green bean casserole and does. That's what he do. That's what he does. She look like olive oil. She does. She does give olive oil. That's what I said, T. He gonna retire because he has secured the bag. All he got to do is get her pregnant, and then he'll be somewhere collecting child support. Because it's just get him back in that barbershop. Watch it, and what's the name? Already got kids. Jason already got kids. He could pop out some of them little Taylor Swifts, and then be like, "I need the type of money to keep me in the world that I have become accustomed to." Well, I guess I'm just weird. But I haven't always made the best choices. But I thought that was cute. Now, if the bitch had diamonds on it, what if it was a friendship bracelet with nice jewelry on it and his phone number? Then y'all be like, oh, people with money do things different. Ashanti and Nelly attended the wedding. I'm not. It was a whole mega fiesta over there. By her, Beyonce and Jay-Z was over there. Friendship bracelet, heavy deep side eye. Y'all, I don't care. I'm just gonna stay in my land of la la. What was we watching? Queen's Court. He gave her a friendship bracelet or a promise ring, and I was like, I'll take that. I'll take anything that doesn't sound anything or look like matrimony. Friendship bracelets, tennis bracelets, promise rings, throw them my way. I like it. Good morning to go to Africa. We needed this for a Shantae and Nelly wedding. I don't need a Shantae and Nelly. Did they have a wedding? I'm sure they did. Maybe Taylor befriended Travis back in her country music days. I don't think so. I think she, the spotlight got on them when Kansas City started winning, and then her and her friends start showing up at football games. So yeah, on to the next thing. Congratulations to Travis and what's her name? Taylor Swift. He's retired, so we can get back to regularly scheduled programming. She won't be at no more games. Speaking of NFL, former NFL star and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum and Anna Marie Wiley's husband, Marcellus Wiley, arrested on domestic battery charges. Are we shocked or are we shocked? Isn't this what he got in trouble for back in the day in school when they were saying that he was over there graping or, let's just see what he's done this time. Former NFL player and sports commentator Marcellus Wiley and husband of former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member Anna Marie Wiley was arrested over the 4th of July holiday weekend in Florida. According to TMZ Sports, the 51-year-old was booked into the Orange County Jail on July 4th, on the holiday, on a charge of domestic battery. As of Sunday morning, Wiley remained in custody and was reportedly being held without bond. Authorities have not released additional details about the alleged incident, including whether Anna Marie Wiley was involved. Come on. Wiley played 10 seasons in the NFL after being selected by the Buffalo Bills in the second round of the 1997 NFL Draft. He later suited up for the San Diego Chargers, Dallas Cowboys, and Jacksonville Jaguars, earning a Pro Bowl selection before launching a career in sports media with ESPN and Fox Sports. He and Anna Marie Wiley are a registered nurse and anesthetist who appeared on season 13 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, have been married since 2014 and share a blended family. The arrest comes just months after Wiley denied multiple civil sexual assault allegations brought by several women. Not several. These allegations are separate from the domestic battery charge. Neither Wiley nor his representatives have publicly commented on the arrest. His first comment, I ain't never heard the saxophone switch up like that. He's trouble. Yes. So was Anna Marie involved? Probably. Y'all talking about a rude husband when he told this woman she was an 8 on the scale of, he gave her a 7-8 on a scale of 1 to 10. Nigga, are you cool? Nope. And she's sitting up here, I'ma stand by him. As the phrase goes, go to Florida on vacation and leave on probation. I can't deny it. It's wild. It's wild west over here. Yeah. That's what I said, high vibe. I couldn't remember if it was a 7 or an 8. And he said it with a straight face. And she was like, my husband says I'm a 7. But because of my job, you goof. It never ends up well when you stand up behind somebody that's, got all these allegations and you standing on business. He's a MAGA too. Red pill toxicity. Yes, he said that to his wife on the show. She asked him, what did he rate her? And he was like, 7. And she was like, hoo, hoo, hoo. And we was like, what? No, that's not what you want. You on your best behavior? Is he on his best behavior? That's the question, Ja Tony. He have been so far. So I can't say nothing. Yeah, that's not the wrongest thing he did. He has allegations from back in the day when he was over here, essaying people. He got in currently. Currently, they are seeking charges against him. So anyway, he got that look in his eye. I wish MNF would tell me I was a 7 when he looked like that. Well, you a 4, bastard. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. It's Monday. Um, Imagine being a teen in high school, and your mother gives a 30-year-old permission to date you. Nia just keeps surprising us over and over again now, doesn't she? Here's why Nia Here's why Nia's mother allowed a 30-year-old man to date her. Nia has people talking after revealing why she never went to prom. According to the actress, she was dating a 30-year-old man while she was still in high school. Nia says the relationship became serious after the man, who owned a hair salon, went to her mother and asked for permission to date her. What kind of shit is that? She says her mother approved the relationship. Nia's mama, come to the front, please. We got some questions. Nia recalled he taught her how to do her hair and makeup, and because of the relationship, the typical high school experience, including prom, weren't part of her teenage years. Why not? She could have gone with her girlfriends. Like, why would, I guess she's with this person, this adult that her mother, sold her to? Looking back, however, Nia says her perspective has completely changed. I would certainly hope so. Maybe that's why you got blessed with sons instead of daughters. Although her mother gave the relationship her blessing at the time, Nia says she would never allow her own daughter to date a grown man while she was still a teenager. Her story has reignited a debate about parenting, age gap, relationships, and whether her parents' approval changed the appropriateness of the relationship involving a minor. No, it just makes her parents look, uh, just as bad, if not worse. What do you think? Does a parent's permission make a situation like this acceptable, or do you think Nia's mother was completely wrong? I mean, that's a no-brainer. Um, wow, I hadn't heard this story before. What could possibly be the reason that her mother would give a 30-year-old man permission to date her daughter? And then the dude was a hairdresser that taught her how to do her hair and makeup. I have so many questions. I have so many questions. And yeah, and the fact that she is breaking this down and simplifying it to this is why she didn't go to prom. Like, prom is the least of the issue here that she got going on. Takes you into the psyche of Nia. It was a lot of mess over there. I know Nia daddy, I think Samore, I know Samore is her sister, the comedian, but I think they have a father in common. So she just threw that out there. Does she have a book coming out? Is there a reason why she decided to share this story, or she was just doing an interview? What do the people say? The people said if she didn't entertain a grown man, this is some wild, ignorant thought process. If she didn't entertain a grown man, her mother wouldn't have to be giving no blessing. I somehow think a blessing, what does it say? I somehow think, blessing or not, she would have continued the relationship. What does this person hate her or something? Why the F she think we need to know this anyway? I don't know where it's coming from. I think that's an odd perspective. We're going to blame her for her mother, passing her off to some grown man. Predatory behavior is on for years. That's why many stood by and watched R. Kelly carry on with teenagers. True. Little girls are not protected enough. Agree. Owned a hair salon and taught her to do her hair and makeup. I don't think that means she was safe at all. um, why were we preventing her from going to the why that's not safe. I don't care what the story, what he does for a living. I think, yeah, obviously there's something else going on, probably, but still the behavior was predatory all the same. So I wonder if she's gonna write a book. I wonder if we'll hear more about that. She got people out here. She just threw her mother under the bus, talking about, oh, now I don't think that anymore. I definitely wouldn't let my daughter do that. She don't have any daughters, as far as I know. She's only got sons. So before we get out of here, just in case y'all didn't think this was going to happen, it probably will. I've been waiting on it. I'm surprised the conversation has taken this long to come up. President Donald Trump is reportedly reviewing a clemency list and discussing pardons for high profile individuals ahead of the 250th birthday. CBS News reporter Jennifer Jacobs posted to X, Trump meeting today to discuss pardons. He is poised to pardon a slate of people convicted of emissions and clean air related violations, per source. He has privately discussed other potential acts of clemency, including Sean Diddy Combs or other well known figures, but those names were expected to be on the recommendations list from the pardons team, one of the sources said. According to Atlantic, the clemency list could also include Malaysian financier Joho Lo, former Fuji's member Praz Michael, and one taste of co-founder Nicole Dayton. I don't know who that is. If you recall, Diddy is currently serving a 50-month federal prison sentence following a jury finding him guilty on 2 counts of transporting individuals across state line for the purpose of prostitution. Should he be pardoned? He should be sentenced of much longer, as far as I'm concerned, than he got in the first place. Will he be pardoned? Probably. You talking about Neon Long. You said, I have to admit that I dated an older man when I was in high school. I was impressed by him because he had nice sports car and nice apartment. My parents definitely would not have approved. No, they wouldn't have approved. And that's the thing, like when you're young like that and you think you're really doing the darn thing. I was telling my daughter on my senior cruise, like the encounters, that me and my roommate were having. We were hanging out with the captain of the boat, the co-captain of the boat, and just doing a lot. And I was like, telling her the story, and then I was like, we were in high school. Like the captain of the boat, they took us out with these men. Grown men had no business entertaining no high school students, but they were. Um, and nothing happened, but boy, it could have. You don't know when you're a young girl like that, and the fact that her mother knew is insane. So yeah, y'all think Diddy gonna be free? You think they gonna let him out? I wouldn't be surprised. I'll put it there. I hope they don't. I feel like he wasn't sentenced to enough as far as I'm concerned. But I hope they don't. You said similar to ancient times. Seems like the laws that are being passed right now are are aligned with, what was going on back then. They want, laws to lower the age of, legal marriage and all that. The reason quinceanera needs to be renamed, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what it means. I know what it is, but why does it need to be renamed? What is quinceañera? Like, what does that mean? Because I always thought of it as a Hispanic sweet 16 party. Um, what is that? What does quinceañera mean that it needs to be renamed to something else? Yeah, I think he will probably. I think he will probably get out. Um, thing is, when he gets out, like he got a lot of lawsuits waiting on him. He got a lot of lawsuits waiting on him. So when he get out, his kids, Young Miami, everybody gonna be put to work to help Puffy pay these damn bills. So you know, hopefully he'll stay there as long as long as possible. But I don't know. Like we know that Puff and Trump have a relationship. You know, they know each other. But at this point, the cat's out of the bag. Like even if like if Puff has dirt, because it seems like they play the same game. They have these videos and things and blackmail people based on the evidence that they got from the dirt that they was doing. But at this point, I really feel like what can you hold over Trump's head? There really ain't nothing that you could expose because the Epstein files have been exposed. Everybody was like, "What's in those files? What's in those files?" And then they got exposed, and nothing happened. He's still over here, doing the same old stuff. So I don't know that he feels like he owes Puffy anything because what can Puffy do? What can he say? He could say anything that he saw Trump doing, and it won't matter. So hopefully he'll sit his ass there. But once he gets out, you know, all them lawsuits he got waiting on him, and there will probably be more. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got today. It's a celebration of a young girl coming of age to marry an older man. Oh, see, I never knew that. Um, I never knew that. That's what I always just assumed that's disgusting. Sorry. Maybe that's why they put so much into it because you're like, is it a wedding? So you said it's a celebration of a young girl coming of age to marry an older man. Whoop. That's the meaning of quinceañera. I suggest to rename it so it's not attached to the negative meaning. They're very, that culture is very much attached to that. They start the saving of the money the time the little girl is born. I never knew that that was the meaning of it. Like I said, Sweet 16 is that's what I always equated it to. But Sweet 16 is not about handing you over to anybody. That's wild. Mm. Yeah, maybe they should change that. They won't, though. It's a part of their culture they're very proud of. Yeah, I knew it was a 15 party, Tony. I didn't know that that's what it was, though. So, yeah, I hate to end on Puff, y'all, but I'm losing my voice. I've been trying. I'm drinking hot tea. Um, Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so there will be no coffee talk, but there will be a reality recap tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So if you're ready for reality recap, you can catch me tomorrow at 8. Otherwise, coffee talk. We'll be back Wednesday at 10:30. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday. And yeah, stay out of trouble. I would try to do the same.